Ranja Is compound Acharya Jagat Guru Srasi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Sula Prabhupada Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Purivajagacharya Astuta Rasita Sisimati Divine Grace Sula Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ananda Guru Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Amacharya Srila Haridasa Guru Ki Jai Hem Gosha Krishna Chaitanya Pavanitananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopal Gopina Shampu Radha Kunna Giri Gorvadan Ki Jai Vrindavan Ki Jai Mathura Ki Jai Navadu Maipur Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Jamuna Mai Ki Jai Ganges Mai Ki Jai Rasi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Nitai Guru Premanande. All glorious assembled devotees, all glorious assembled devotees, all glorious assembled devotees. All glory to Sri Guru, Sri Gauranga, Shri Hare Krishna, Sai Bhutta Lesamati Bhutta Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devyam Saraswatim Vyasam Tatudayam Dhira Nashta Praesha Bhadrisu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Srupe Bhakti Bhavasti Nastiti Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshulannusandena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Saptam Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Yuta Parakam Sri Gurun Vaishnava Sri Rupam Shagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan He Krishna Karuna Sindhutina Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tatta Kanchana Gaurangirati Vrindavanishwari Visavana Siti Devi Pranamami Haripriye Panchakalpataruja Chakripasinnu Gaivacha Patitanam Pavinavyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Sari Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Gantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees,
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances of Guru Prabhupada. You're welcome, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Very happy to see all of you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you. Venkatesh Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Happy to see you here. All right, so we are looking at Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9. The passing away of General Bhishmadev. And we will continue from text 14. Just a minute. I will start in 1 minute. A minute. It's
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please kindly unmute yourself.
all right, Hare Krishna. So text 14. Saravam Kala Kritam Manye Avatam Chayat Arat Priyam Apriyam Sapalujat Vaselokud Vayuriva Kanagali. In my opinion, this is all due to inevitable time. Under whose control? Everyone in every planet is carried. Just as the clouds are carried by the wind. Bhishmadev is responding to the experience the Pandavas had with a very great concern. How can such misfortune befall Krishna's devotees? And how should one who has experienced misfortune proceed in his activities? This is Bhishmadev way of addressing the issue. How can such misfortune befall Krishna's devotees? Krishna's devotee. And that's the one question. Second question is, how should one who has experienced his fortune proceed in his activities. How a devotee is afflicted by misfortune continue in Krishna consciousness. It's not discouraging that one is taken to Krishna consciousness. What is the idea of going to God? What is the idea? One is going to God because I want to get freedom. I want to get freedom. I want to be completely satisfied, happy. No sickness, no disease, no old age, no pain, no suffering from any corner, any direction. I should be fully protected and maintained by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yet we have seen the Pandavas, the dear devotees of Krishna, who are his eternal associate, passing through a series of problems. So Bhishmadev was looking at it and appreciating the fact that although they had passed through so many problems, they still remain fixed devotees. And you will notice in the lives of the Pandavas that their interest in Krishna consciousness never deteriorates. Their faith in Krishna never shifted, even for a moment, never for a moment. So how should we take this? So Bhishmadev is offering a prescription for assimilating and dealing with the circumstances that bring grief. And yes, such circumstances may befall even Krishna's devotees. Even Krishna's devotees. What about Prahlad? What of Haridas? What of Dhira? What of Jesus the Christ? What of Muhammad? What of Stephen? What of Prabhupada? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati? Ramanujacharya? What about all these great devotees? They never had it easily. Never. Ramanujacharya suffered in the hands of Shiva worshippers. He was running here and there, here and there, here and there, all through India. He was running. Pure devotee. What is the fault of pure devotees? So Papa said in one lecture, because they are preaching the message of God consciousness, Krishna. They're preaching Krishna consciousness. That is their fault. Their fault is not because they're stealing, they're not raping, they're not incriminating, they're not doing anything wrong to anybody. Their fault is that they want to deliver conditions of suffering. That is their fault. So Bhishmadev is offering a valuable advice. So he said, Sarabam Kala Kritam Manye Babatun Chayat Apriyam Sapalo Jadba Sulukul Vayu Iva Kanavani. In my opinion, this is all due to inevitable time under whose control everyone in every planet, in every place is carried, just as the clouds are carried by the wind. This is Bhishmadev. Powerful vision. He's giving us this powerful vision. So Yudhishthira, although Yudhishthira are the personification of religiousness and religion or righteousness, you are the personification of righteousness and religion. And we're in the presence of your great warrior brothers. You suffered catastrophe after catastrophe. One after another. You suffer one after another. So 14, 15, 16, 17. 14, 15, 16, 17. And Lord, Bhishmadev is guiding and giving us valuable advice. The most amazing thing is that Even these catastrophes, all these calamities, all these problems, they occur even in the presence of the Supreme Lord himself. Even in the presence of Krishna. Right in the presence of Krishna. Not just after, right before Lord Krishna's face. Right before Lord Krishna's face, right there. And Krishna was going to the forest to go and console the Pandavas. The Pandavas were in the forest, suffering. When Dhruvasamuni came there to come and sent by Dhira to come and disturb them, to come and destroy them. But Krishna did not stop them from going to the forest. Krishna went there to the forest and is asking Draupadi, I'm hungry, give me prasad, I want to eat, I'm hungry. Draupadi, so Krishna, what is this? I'm already in a problem, I'm already in problem, don't look problem. Krishna said, what kind of problem is that? What is the problem for you, a devotee? See, Dhruvasamuni were the 1,000 disciples. They are here waiting for food, and I've already eaten. My mystical pot is not going to produce food again. And you again are coming to ask me for prasad. I'm not so one problem. You are going to bring another problem. What is this, Krishna? So I say, okay, go and check your pot. I'll finish eating. I'll finish eating. Krishna said, oh, go and waste your work. Go and check the pot. Just go and check. Just go and look carefully there. See what is there. So Draupadi has already washed the pot. There's nothing there. Krishna put something there. So externally, it looked like Krishna is not working in his presence. So many calamities are befalling his devotees, but Krishna is working. Krishna is working. Krishna is working. We simply need to know the science. That's all. We simply need to know the science, how Krishna mysteriously does his things. Draupadi or the Pandava didn't call for Krishna. Krishna came at that time when he knew. In other words, Krishna made the arrangement that Dhira should plan to send Dhruvasamuni, who is easily angered, to go and destroy the Pandavas in the forest, so he can have his kingdom without any fault of any fault. So nobody will blame him that, oh, you solved the position. And then Krishna made that arrangement. Krishna instigated him to do that. He also instigated the Dhruvasamuni to go there. Then to show that Krishna is protecting his devotee, he came himself personally. For the non-devotee is a super soul works. For the devotee, Krishna himself does it. So Krishna came himself. He didn't use his super soul to stick to them what to do. Krishna came himself personally. Go and check. So Draupadi reluctantly went. She reluctantly went there to check because Krishna said. So she went there. And looking at the age, it's a small leaf, vegetable was still there. So she just used her one finger to take it. I said, see, this is the only thing that is left there to give me. So I took that and licked it. So he's hungry. He says, this sumptuous prasadam. My belly is full. Your prasadam is so delicious. And my belly is full. So one anxiety is gone. So the next anxiety is the guests, thousands of guests who had come. What will happen to them? So, you send for them to come. You can tell them to come for the feast. I should come for them. They should come. What is the feast? Send for them to come. While Krishna was talking, and Bhimsena went to go and call them to come. At that time, they were already discussing among themselves in the water. Our belly is full. I don't need prasadam again. I didn't need food again. And you do somebody waiting for us for the feast. Shall we go there? How can you go there when you have no appetite to eat? Oh, will you tell Maharaj this? To be a disgrace, you better run away. Christians chase them. The evil that men do follows them. The evil of Dhira then, along with his mystic friend, Dhruva Sambuni, but all his associates, the evil they had in mind to disturb devotees, to follow them, they ran away, push them away. They ran away. So when before Bhimsena got there, he saw them running. So he wondered, what is happening to these people? They ran away and never came back. So that was how Krishna resolved that issue, protected his devotees. Yes, Krishna protected his devotees. Prabhupada is speaking in the purport. Everything, therefore, is controlled by the Supreme Kala, or forceful representative of the Lord within the material world. Thus, Yudhishthira should not be sorry for the inconceivable action of time. Everyone has to bear the actions and reactions of time, as long as one is within the conditions of the material. Yudhishthira should not think that he had committed sins in his previous birth and is suffering the consequences. Even the most pious has to suffer the condition of material nature. Huh? So, following the religious principles. These three guiding principles should be the aim of life. Guiding principle. By the Brahmanas, Vaishnavas, and we should be protected by the religious principles. These three principles, Papa say, must be the guiding principle. We should follow this. The guiding principle should be the aim of life. One should not be disturbed by the tricks of eternal time. So if one is guided by these principles, then we shouldn't worry for anything. We should not worry for anything. Nothing should be our worries again. In other words, our concern should be how to follow these three guiding principles. If we are maintained by these three guiding principles, we shouldn't worry for anything again. Everything about us is under the protection of Krishna. Even the great controller of the universe, Brahmaji, is also under the control of that time. Therefore, one should not grudge being thus controlled by time, despite being a true follower of religious principles. We should not be disturbed by this. We should know this. Know this thing very carefully, so we are not unnecessarily disturbed. Of course, the disturbance of Yudhishthira Maharaj is due to his saintly nature, so that Lord Krishna teach us, the followers, to come to that platform, So Yudhishthira Maharaj, Krishna placed him there to represent us, so he can use him to teach us, to train us. This is what is happening. Oh, how wonderful is the influence of inevitable time. It is irreversible. Otherwise, how can there be reverses in the presence of King Yudhishthira, a son of the demigod controlling religion? Bhim, the great fighter with the club, the great bowman Arjun with his mighty weapon Gandiva, and above all, the Lord, the direct well-wisher of the Pandavas. Yudhishthira Maharaj does not know anything which is sin. He doesn't know what is sin. Therefore, he shouldn't have experienced any unnecessary thing in his life. So spiritually, Yudhishthira Maharaj is there. If you are going to look at it through the ability to protect, the Sena is Arjuna is there when they can do. So it shouldn't be any difficulty. And above all this, the Supreme Lord himself, Krishna, who is the well-wisher and the protector of the Pandavas, was present. As far as the material or spiritual resources were required, there was no scarcity in the case of the Pandavas. So there shouldn't be any reverses. But here we have seen so much problem. Until they were well equipped because two great warriors named Bhim and Arjuna were there. Spiritually, the king himself was the symbol of religion. And above all of them, the personality of our Lord Sri Krishna was personally concerned with the affairs as the well-wisher. And yet, there were so many reverses on the side of the Pandavas. Despite the power of expert management and the power of weapons under the direct supervision of Krishna, the Pandavas suffered so many practical reverses, which can only be explained and due to the influence of Kala, inevitable time. Kala is identical with the Lord himself. And therefore, the influence of Kala indicates the inexplicable wish of the Lord himself. There is nothing to be lamented when a matter is beyond the control of any human being. That is the conclusion. When one has tried his best, tried in all situations, one has tried and nothing is working, one should simply understand that this is the arrangement of providence and simply surrender to providence. That is how we will be relieved. Text 16. Nahya Shakari Hichi Rajan Kuman Veda Vidit Sitam Jad Viji Ya Saya Yota Guhyanti Kavayoti. O King, no one can know the plan of the Lord Sri Krishna, even though great philosophers inquire exhaustively. They are bewildered. Srila Swami commented on this verse. He said that Bhishma Dev pointed his finger at Krishna, saying, Asya, he is, what is that? Krishna. Nothing occurs beyond Krishna's desire. Nothing occurred beyond Krishna's desire. Nothing. Lord Krishna in his pastime, Alochita Mahaprabhu, he told Srivas Pandit the same thing. There was a news that the king was coming to arrest all devotees in the house of Srivas, break his house, and threw everything into Ganga. So Srivas started praying to Nrsimhadev. As he was praying to Lord Nrsimhadev, Sitita Mahaprabhu came there and kicked the door open. What is this you are doing, Srivas? What is this? Whom are you praying to? You called me to come here, and I'm here. So whom are you praying to? Whom are you praying to? You don't believe me? You don't know me? You called for me to come, and I'm here, right here before your face, and you're praying to who again? Huh? Let me tell you, Srivas. Let the king come here with his soldiers to come and arrest you. If you don't believe me, that only if I give him permission before he can come here, then let him come and arrest you. I'm promising you that I will follow you. I will follow you. Wherever the king will arrest and take you to, I will follow you. The king will not come here, will never do anything without my permission. If I did not ask him to come here, he will never come here. So we should learn from this. The Lord said, if I don't give him permission, he will not come. So Sitara Swami is also saying, and nothing occurs beyond Krishna's desire. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing will occur. Only if Krishna loves things. Yes. Bhima wanted to impress upon Maharaj Yudhishthira that since time immemorial, no one, including such demigods as Shiva and Brahma, will ascertain the real plan of the Lord. So, what can we understand? What can we understand about it? It is useless also to inquire about it. Even the exhaustive philosophical inquiries of sages cannot ascertain the plan of the Lord. That is why the Lord is said to be inconceivable. We cannot understand his plan. Only when he manifests it. Even when he manifests it, still it's difficult to understand. There's so many issues, activities Christians perform, situations that happen, which are difficult to understand. This is Krishna's nature. Krishna can bewilder anyone because he's the supreme personality of Godhead. So we are very tiny. How can we understand him? What is our ability? Our ability to understand him. So Krishna can only reveal certain things to us. That is enough for us to understand about him. So we can go to him. That much Krishna will do. But not that one can understand him completely. It is not possible. It is not possible. The best policy is simply to abide by the orders of the Lord without argument. The sufferings of the Pandavas were never due to their past deeds. The Lord had to execute the plan of establishing the kingdom of virtue. And therefore, his own devotees suffered temporarily in order to establish the conquest of virtue. Yes, that is the reason. For Krishna to do this, he used his devotees So it may look like the devotees are suffering. It is not true that devotees are suffering, especially. It may appear the devotees are suffering, but actually, the devotees are not. Being guided and protected and directed by Lord Krishna. There cannot be any suffering for the devotees. Lord Hanumanji in the Bhagavatamrita. Lord Muni had gone to meet him to glorify him as a base devotee who had received the mercy of Krishna, all Ramachandra. Lord Hanumanji said, no, don't say that. Don't say, I'm not. Those who have received the mercy of Krishna are the Pandavas. They are the Pandavas. Hanuman didn't have the difficulty to challenge the problem the Pandavas passed through. But he was seeing Hanuman is glorifying the Pandavas, that they are the best devotees and they have the mercy of Krishna. How would one consider that to be mercy of Krishna? So this will help us to understand what is happening. That Hanuman did not undergo the series of problems the Pandavas had. But Hanuman said, it is the Pandavas who had the mercy of Krishna. Look at the Pandavas from the beginning of their life to the end. They were passing through obstacles upon obstacles upon obstacles, one problem after another, continuously for their entire life. So what is happening? Hanuman said, Lord Krishna used the Pandavas to teach us the level of their tolerance. I don't have a situation to tolerate like the Pandavas. So I'm not fortunate. The Pandavas are fortunate. Look at the problem they had. Look at how they tolerated everything. Krishna glorified them and raised them above everyone. The symbol of tolerance. So Jiva Goswami said, yes. By the difficulties they passed through, Krishna glorified them. Krishna used that to glorify the devotees. And my devotees, they never see any suffering but me. One who has Krishna consciousness, one who has Krishna, one who is Krishna conscious, can never have problem. Never. So the Rupa Goswami in his Lalita Madhava, can anyone who has taken full shelter of you be in difficulty, problem, and anxiety? The answer is no. And years ago, the sages also gathered. Like this day, we are very conscious of attending seminars, varieties of seminar conferences. The sages, they came for a conference. And the subject of discussion was what? Can anyone who is fully surrendered to Christian be in anxiety, in difficulty? Anyone who has fully surrendered his life to Christian, will such a person be in problem, in anxiety, in frustration? Can that person be frustrated, burnt out? So they went through all the scriptures, they went through all the experiences, and they came to the conclusion that no one who is fully surrendered to Christian can be anxiety. So we see here the life of the panelists. We also look at the life of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad was very, very peaceful and happy. No anxiety. The only person who was frustrated was the father who was tormenting him. He was frustrated because all his attempt he made to kill Prahlad was unsuccessful. So he wondered, where did you get this power from to override my power? And Prahlad smiled. He said, from the same person, from the same place you got it on, from the same person, the same place, not two places, not two persons, the same place. Hiranyakasipu was bewildered by his small boy. He made terrible attempts to kill Prahlad. He was 100% unsuccessful. He was bewildered. While Prahlad was peaceful, he was in anxiety. All the anxiety he planned to give to Prahlad came back to him. So while Prahlad was very happy, he was in anxiety. Just like Kamsa. Kamsa was continuously trying to kill Lord Krishna. So one day he confessed to one of his associates, Casey Demon. So Casey, you are my very, very good friend. A friend is happy to share the problem with his friend and relieve him from that anxiety. That's a friend. Casey said, yes. So there is a small boy in Vrindavan. There's a small boy in Vrindavan. He is constantly giving me anxiety, and at the same time, he's giving complete satisfaction to his people in Vrindavan. Just now, he killed my sister who screamed in anxiety, in terrible agony, and died. So please, I want you to go to Vrindavan. Study the situation very carefully about this boy and come back to me. Go and study the situation and come back and give me the information. Get every detail about this boy. But what will he know about the boy? What will the demon know about the boy? Only a devotee will know something about this boy. Bhakti, Mama Bijanati, you haven't just asked me, talk to her. Only my devotee can know me. Why? Due to Bhakti. Due to Bhakti. So here we see, so Prabhupada is speaking very nice, very, very wonderful, very nice sentence made here. The Lord had to execute the plan of establishing the kingdom of Vaishya. And therefore his own devotees suffered temporarily in order to establish the conquest of Vaishya. Yes. Therefore, Bhishmadev was certainly satisfied by seeing the triumph of the Vaishya, and he was glad to see King Yudhishthira on the throne, although he himself fought against him. That was also another thing. Even a great fighter like Bhishma will not win the battle of Kurukshetra because the Lord wanted to show that vice cannot conquer virtue, regardless of who tries to execute it. We've mentioned a lot of examples already. So many. So many. Look at Dhira, look at Kamsa, look at Rankasipo. These are formidable people. Yet, they cannot conquer virtue. They cannot defeat the devotees. Look at Indra. Indra has a thunderbolt. The Brajabasis have only stick. You cannot compare stick with the thunderbolt. But Indra failed. It was an anxiety. The devotees were very, very peaceful under the Govardhan hill, lifted by the push. Yes. Bhishma was a great devotee of the Lord, but he chose to fight against the Pandavas by the will of the Lord, because the Lord wanted to show that a fighter like Bhishma, they cannot win on the wrong side. Tasmadi dam daiva tantam yavasya paratara sabha tasya nu vihitu nata nata pahi prajapatu. O base among the descendants of Bharata, Yudhishthira, I maintain therefore that all this is within the plan of the Lord, accepting the inconceivable plan of the Lord. You must follow it. You must follow it. You are now the appointed administrative head, and my Lord, you should now take care of those subjects who are now rendered helpless. So this is how Bhishma is explaining this. It's a summary, 14 to 17. Everything, therefore, is controlled by the Supreme Kala, a forceful representative of the Lord within the material world. Everyone has to bear the actions and reactions of time as long as one is within the conditions of material world. That is the purpose of 14. Despite the power of pious acts, the power of personalities, the power of expert management, and the power of weapons under the direct supervision of Lord Krishna himself, the Pandavas suffered so many practical reverses, which can only be explained as due to the influence of Kala in a medieval time. Kala is identical with the Lord himself, and therefore the influence of Kala indicates the inexplicable ways of the Lord himself. There is nothing to be lamented when a matter is beyond the control of any human being, except him. This one wanted to impress upon Maharaj Yudhishthira that since time immemorial, no one, including such demigods as Shiva or Brahma, could ascertain the real plan of the Lord. So what can we understand about it? It is useless also to inquire about it. Even the exhaustive philosophical inquiries of sages cannot ascertain the plan of the Lord. The best policy is simply to abide by the orders of the Lord without argument. And the 17th, the popular saying is that a housewife teaches the daughter-in-law by teaching the daughter. Similarly, the Lord teaches the world by teaching the devotees. The Lord teaches the world by teaching the devotees. Krishna uses the devotee. We already mentioned. Krishna placed him here. And all of us under him have to learn from the experience of Yudhishthira Maharaj. And Prabhupada is saying, Krishna teaches the world by teaching his devotees. Just like the housewife teaches the daughter-in-law by teaching the daughter. The popular saying that is my purpose, right in the beginning. The popular saying is that the housewife teaches the daughter-in-law by teaching the daughter. The one is intelligent. The housewife is teaching the daughter, you do this, you do this. So the daughter-in-law is hearing. And from this, you understand, oh, this is what my mother-in-law wants me to do. That is intelligence. It's an experienced teacher. He's speaking very loud so that the daughter-in-law will hear. So you know, if she say directly, this woman is just disturbing my peace here. I'm married. It should allow me and my husband to live my life. What this woman is doing every time poking us into our business. Therefore, an experienced woman will be teaching the daughter. In this way, the daughter-in-law will be hearing and understanding what needs to be done and how it should be done. It's experience. Similarly, the Lord teaches the world by teaching the devotee. And then Prabhupada concluded. A pure devotee of the Lord accepts tribulations as favors from the Lord. Since the Lord is absolute, there is no mundane difference between the two. This is what we should learn. A pure devotee of the Lord accepts tribulations as favor. Favors from the Lord. Since the Lord is absolute, there is no mundane difference between the two. This we should learn. This we should learn. We are conditioned souls in this material world. There's so many things against us. There's so many things against us. So many things against us. So we will not be able to understand how things are happening. Therefore, Krishna brings his devotees here, put them in our condition, and start training and start teaching them, using them so we can see. This is what Prabhupada is telling us. The housewife teaches the daughter-in-law by teaching her own daughter. So Krishna brought his pure devotees from the spiritual, because we will not have the strength to understand things. Therefore, Krishna put the pure devotees in association so we can see how this person passed through when this person will have such and such problems. So we learn from that and also apply the same thing in our own life. In this way, we will also overcome difficulties, whatever we need to pass through in our own life. We have to learn it. We have to learn it. And Krishna is teaching us that. He cannot teach us directly because we will not understand. So he has to use his devotees to teach us. And he cannot use just a devotee. Krishna must use pure devotees because they will have the strength to understand it. What the conditioned soul will understand, will experience what the Pandavas passed through and remain devotees. We'll give it up. Right? We have so many complaints about what is happening. So many complaints. Why the devotee behave like this? Why the devotee behave like that? Why this thing happen like that? This should not happen. This should not happen in this movement. It should not happen. It should not happen if we are all pure devotees. It should not happen. But because we are not all of us are pure devotees, and we have a hypocrite and cheaters among us, who may some other use the process to become preferred eventually and come to the highest platform. Or even for those who are very sincere, but because the weight of our previous karma is still heavy on us, we will make mistakes sometimes. So if that happens, it should not happen, but if that happens because we are conditioned, we are lazy, we are falling, degraded, if that happens, either by mistake or by deliberate, what should we do? Should we close the society down because it happened? No. Because there are chances for those who are sincere to be conscious. There are chances. So we cannot close it because some nonsense people misbehave or misbehaving. Therefore, tribulation should be accepted as favor. Why? Because it purifies us. It purifies us. That is the way we get purified. Gold is valued as gold only when it passes through fire. Not before then. So for us to become pure devotee, we must pass through a lot of tribulation, not imposed by the Lord, but because of our own sinful activities. Nobody will suffer for another person's problem. We will suffer for our own problem. Even if someone else does something wrong in a community and the community is in anxiety, we must have some or other contributed to that problem, either in the past or in the present. So we cannot be completely free. Therefore, we should gladly accept all the tribulations of Christian's favor, like Christian's mercy. And as Prabhupada has mentioned in Bhagavad, many places, chapter 12, text 13, 14, purport, in 16 also, text 16 also. Prabhupada mentioned that when a devotee is having a lot of challenges, things, glory to Lord Krishna. Krishna is so merciful that he's not giving me all the result of my sinful activity because he's very, very merciful. So he's only giving me little, not all, because Krishna knows I'm not able to handle it. So he gave me little. So I should be grateful. Should be grateful. Grateful to Krishna for his costless mercy. All right, we're going to text 18. I'll go to text 18 now. Esavai Bhagavan Sakshat Adyo Narayana Puman Mohayan Maya Yalokan Buddhas Charity Vrishnishu. Buddhas Charity Vrishnishu. This Sri Krishna is no other than the inconceivable original personality of Godhead. He is the first Narayana, the supreme enjoyer, but he is Mohayan Mayaya Lokam Buddhas Charity Vrishnishu. He is what? Moving among us, amongst the descendants of King Vrishni, just like one of us. What is he doing? Mohayan Mayaya Lokam. And he is bewildering us with his self-created energy. Krishna is bewildering us. Krishna is bewildering us by his self-created energy. Self-created. His self-created energy. Krishna is. This is Bhismade. He's pointing his index finger to Krishna. Bhismade is pointing index to Krishna while he's talking to Yudhishthira. Listen. This Sri Krishna is no other person than the inconceivable original personality of Godhead. Esavai Bhagwan Sakshat Adyo Adya Narayana Puman. This is Krishna position. He is what? The original. He is original personality of God. The original. He's the first. Adya. He is the first. The original personality of God. The first Narayana. He's the first Narayana. He's the original supreme personality. He's the supreme enjoyer. He's no other person than this. We should know this. We should know this. The person who is standing here, moving among the Brishnis here, and making everyone to understand, to think that he is one of us. He is different person. He is different person. Yes. Today you destroy Maharaj. This may they continue. Although you consider yourself sinful and unfortunate, he whom you have accepted as a cousin, dear friend, and intimate counselor is actually Sri Krishna, the supreme enjoyer, the highest authority, the supreme perception of Godhead, who in this world, therefore, is more fortunate than you. You say you're the most fortunate person. The Vedic system of acquiring knowledge is the deductive process. The Vedic knowledge is received perfectly by disciplic succession from authorities. Such knowledge is never dogmatic, as ill-conceived by less intelligent persons. Yeah? This is the best way to get knowledge. Deductive process. Deductive. We don't speculate. We don't speculate. We don't waste our time unnecessarily. We approach one who knows. We approach a person who knows. What is the benefit of approaching those who knows? What's the benefit of approaching those who knows? What's the benefit? What is important approaching those who knows? Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
It makes life very easy.
All right. Thank you. It makes life very easy. Thank you. Very good. To make our life easy. Thank you. What else? Why we should approach those who knows.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
One who follows the persons who knows never makes mistakes.
Very good. Very good. All the mistakes we'll make in our life will be avoided. Very good. All mistakes we will make in our own life, if we follow those who knows, who have had experience, we will avoid all of them. Very good. What else? Why we should approach those who knows? Right? What is important for us to approach those rules? We have gotten two answers. To make our life easy, we'll avoid all the mistakes we'll make in our lives. What else? Yes, go ahead. Chitta Ketuputra. What is the benefit of approaching those who knows?
When we follow those who know, we are not misled. We are not we don't get misled by other people. When we follow those who know perfectly, we are not deceived. We don't get to become deceived or waste time. Yes, we are able to follow very well. Yes.
There is echo in your sound, so it's not very clear. Yeah. When you speak, it's spreading, concentrated.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I think what he's trying to summarize is that it saves time.
Very good. Time. Very good. Yeah, Venkatesh Prabhu also said the same thing. Save our time. Very, very good. Prabhupada gave example in the purport. What is the authentic way to know one's father? You can go to the street and stand there in the street for a lifetime and ask whoever is passing on the road, who's my father? Who's my father? Who's my father? You can spend the whole lifetime, you will never know who is the father. But just a moment, as a mother, who's my father? In a moment, see him. In a moment. So we save our time from unnecessary anxiety, frustration. In fact, if you stand in the street and asking somebody, people are passing, who's my father? Everybody will run away from you. He's a crazy person. We save our time if we ask those women. Very good. Thank you. What else? What else do we learn from following those women? Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Success will be guaranteed.
Success is guaranteed. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, sure, success, because you're not dealing with a newbie, you're dealing with an experienced person who knows all the mistakes will make. A person have gone through all that. The action is based on experience. So you're sure of becoming success. Very good. Yes. Thank you. Jyoti Swarup.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, the one who knows, that means they have already experienced, and so that they can guide us very well. So we don't lose our path and we reach our goal easily.
So follow those who knows, we'll get to the goal. It's sure, we're guaranteed of getting to the goal. Very good.
Yes, Maharaj.
Very good. Yeah. Our system is that of blessings. Is it not? Our system is based on blessings. We follow those who knows, you get a blessing that will become successful. Become successful. Everything will be revealed. Everything, all the secret, all the confidential things will be known to us, will be revealed to us. The mercy of Krishna is what his devotees. What is pure devotees. So if we take shelter of those who know, who are representing Krishna, they will give us the mercy to attend Krishna. That is sure. Success is guaranteed. Thank you. Very nice. So Bhishmadev he has a distinguished Lord Krishna. He pointing Krishna out. See, my dear Yudhishthira Maharaj, let me tell you. This person standing here is the supreme person, the first Narayan. He's the first. You may send him message, you may consider him your family member, whatever you think he is, that is okay. But let me tell you, this person here, he is Mohayan Mayaya, Lokam Buddha Charity Vishnu. He's just moving here. bewildering us what is eternal potency, your mind and my mind, for those who are not doing this. So we should take shelter of Krishna, and our success is guaranteed. Otherwise, we can go on speculating. In the material world, we have so many speculators and so many speculators. Many. And people believe the scientists. People believe the scientists. They don't believe the Lord and his devotees. This is our unfortunate situation in the material world. They don't believe devotees. They don't believe Krishna. They believe the scientists. Very unfortunate. So Bhishma Dev, Prabhupada said, is one of the Mahajans. It's an authority speaking about Sri Krishna as the original personality of Godhead, and the first Narayan. Even such an impersonalist as Sankaracharya has said in the beginning of his commentation on the Bhagavad Gita, Narayana, the personality of Godhead, is beyond the material creation. The universe is one of the material creation, but Narayana is transcendental to such material. Thank you. So Bhishma Dev is one of the 12 Mahajans who know the principles of transcendental knowledge, and he is not keeping the knowledge to himself. He is disseminating the knowledge. His confirmation of Lord Sri Krishna's being the original personality of God is also corroborated by the impersonalist Sankara. All other acharyas have also confirmed this statement. And thus there is no chance of not accepting Lord Sri Krishna as the supreme personality of God. Bhishma Dev says that he is the first Narayan. This is also confirmed by the Brahmaji. Brahmaji, in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna is the first Narayan. In the spiritual world, by Vaikuntha, there are unlimited numbers of Narayans, who are all the same personality of God, and are considered to be the plenary expansions of the original personality of God, Sri Krishna. So the first form of the Lord, Sri Krishna, is first expand himself as a form of Baladev. And Baladev expand into so many other forms, such as Sankarshan, Madhumna, and Nirudha, Vasudeva, Narayan, Purusha, Rama, and the Singhadev. All these expansions are one and the same Vishnu Tattva. And Sri Krishna is the original source of all the plenary expansions. Therefore, he is therefore the direct personality of God. He is the creator of the material world, and he is the predominating deity known as Narayan in all the Vaikuntha planets. That is Sri Krishna's position. So, Bhishma Dev is presenting him to us as he is. The bewilderment regarding Sri Krishna is due to the action of his twofold internal and external energies upon the third person, called the marginal energy. The bewilderment regarding Sri Krishna is due to the action of his twofold internal and external energies upon the third one. The third one is in between the two. That is marginal energy, the living entities. The living entities. We are between the spiritual and the material energy of Krishna. And both of them has effect on us according to our position. The living entities are expansions of his marginal energy. And those they are sometimes bewildered by the internal energy and sometimes by the external energy. By internal energy, energetic bewilderment, Sri Krishna expands himself into unlimited numbers of Narayans. and exchanges to accept transcendental loving service from the living entities in the transcendental world. And by his external energetic expansions, he incarnates himself in the material world amongst the men, animals, or demigods to re-establish his forgotten relations with the living entities in different species of life. Great authority like Bhishma said, Hariva, escaped his bewilderment by the mercy of the Lord. By the mercy. Okay, let's take a break. Let's take a break. And we resume after a few minutes. After a few minutes. We take a break. Leave your computer or your cell phone and go and take juice and eat something to break your fast for those of you. And then we'll see you back in a few minutes. Hare Krishna. All right, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, okay, Maharaj. My network just went off all of a sudden. So Maharaj is taking break, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, you're welcome back.
All right. Thank you. Very good. So we continue our discussion. Bhagavatam 19. Now we look at 19. That's 19. Ashanubhavam Bhagavan Veda Guhyatamam Shiva Ivari Sinarada Sakshat Bhagavan Kapilo Nripa. O King Lord Shiva, Narada, and sage among the sage among the demigods, and Kapil, incarnation of God, all know very confidentially about his glories through direct contact. Yes. In this purport, text 19, the purport has mentioned something very, very striking. Here there are three personalities mentioned here. The three persons are Lord Shiva, Narada Muni, and the great sage, Kapil Muni. And they are among the 12 Mahajans. Pure devotees of the Lord are all Bhavas, for persons who know the glories of the Lord in different transcendental loving services. And the Lord has innumerable expansions of his splendid form. There are innumerable pure devotees of the Lord who are engaged in the exchange of service of different humors. Here are the names of the 12 Mahajans. Ordinarily, there are 12 great devotees of the Lord, namely Lord Brahma, Naradan, Shivaji, Kumara, Kapil, Manu, Prahlada, Bhishma, Janaka, Sukadeva Goswami, Bali Maharaj, and Yamaraj. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, one of the great acharyas in a modern age, explains that Anubhava, or the glory of the Lord, is first appreciated by a devotee in ecstasy, manifesting the symptoms of perspiring, trembling, weeping, bodily eruptions, etc., which are further enhanced by a steady understanding of the glories of the Lord. Such different understandings of bhavas are exchanged between Yashoda and the Lord. Binding the Lord by ropes, and in the chariot driving by the Lord, in the exchange of love with abuse. These glories of the Lord are exhibited in his being subordinated before the devotees, and that is another feature of the glories of the Lord. Sukadeva Goswami and the Kumaras, although situated in the transcendental position, became converted by another feature of Bhava, and turn into pure devotees of the Lord. Here, this is the point. The Prabhupada said, tribulations imposed upon the devotees by the Lord constitute another exchange of transcendental bhava between the Lord and the devotees. Tribulations imposed upon the devotees by the Lord constitute another exchange of transcendental bhava between the Lord and the devotees. The Lord says, I put my devotees into difficulty, and thus the devotee becomes more purified in exchanging transcendental bhava with me. So we know that difficulties or difficult circumstances beyond one's control occur in everyone's life. In everyone's life. Even in the lives of devotees. Why? Why is that? If you remember the previous chapter, text 4, it stated that while discussing this question with Yudhishthira, Krishna and the Munis cited the stringent laws of the Almighty and their reactions upon living beings. Ultimately, however, it is Krishna who is the Almighty Lord, even when he cites universal laws. One must ultimately accept everything that happens. Bhishmadev conclude as Krishna's will. To accept it because it is meant for one purpose. But why will Krishna sanction suffering for his great devotees? Why will Krishna sanction suffering for his great devotees? What is the great devotees? Why will Krishna sanction suffering for his devotees? Great devotees.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada said in the purport that the Lord puts his devotee in tribulations to make them become purified to engage in his bhava, to engage
Very good.
in staging transcendental bhava with him.
Yeah. I was disconnected, so I was disconnected.
Yes, okay. I was saying that the purpose said the Lord puts his devotees into difficulties to make them become purified in exchanging transcendental bhava or loving service to him.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. The network is cutting. Yes, thank you. I just read it. I just read it from the book. Before asking the question, I read it. What else? What else do we have? The reason why Christians will put his dead devotees into the what else? What other reasons? If we should know this, if you don't know it, when it is our turn, what will we do? We'll abandon Krishna and run away. This is too much. So we should know it. And we should not think that we're not going to have difficulty. We are really having difficulty. So we should know it so we can prepare ourselves properly.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Also to deliver the devotee from the illusory material relation.
Sorry. Can you repeat again? Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. I said to necessitate delivering the devotee from the illusory material relation.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you for the contribution. Srila Prabhupada once attributed such suffering seemingly simply to nature, the nature of the material world. Yeah, this is the nature of the material world. That's another reason. The material world is like that. We already mentioned it before the break. Because this is the material world. Even Krishna's mother was put into suffering. Devaki was so advanced as she became the mother of Krishna, but still she was put into difficulties by her own brother, Kamsa. That is the nature of this material world. See from the teachings of Confucius. He has also said that Krishna, the Almighty Lord, has a plan, and that everything and everyone in the universe is serving that plan. Devotee should therefore not expect lives free from tumult and trouble. And he gave an example. Haridas Thakur was killed in 22 marketplaces. Lord Jesus Christ was crucified, as were many of his followers. Yet devotees, even through extreme tribulations, can remain free from anxiety. How? How a devotee will remain free from anxiety? How a devotee will do that? Devotee will remain free from anxiety by accepting that Krishna is the supreme personality of God. Such consciousness is most wonderful. It's most wonderful. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and he knows everything that he's doing. It is also said that although the world moves by Krishna's desire, even he is at times surprised by its workings. Is that possible? Yes. God cannot know. Can God not know anything or something? If he does know everything, can he enjoy a surprise or an interesting turn of events? If not, he's lacking something. If he doesn't know everything, is he God? Yeah, that's very mysterious. Krishna knows everything, and at the same time, he is simultaneously omniscient and bewildered. That word makes Krishna complete. He's complete complete. In all circumstances, it's complete. So Prabhupada continued. Placing the devotee into material troubles necessitate delivering him from the illusory material reactions. The material relations are based on reciprocation of material enjoyment, which depends mainly on material resources. Therefore, when material resources are withdrawn by the Lord, the devotee is 10% attracted towards the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Thus, the Lord snatches the fallen soul from the mind of material existence. It's very, very, very powerful point. Tribulations offered by the Lord to his devotee are different from vicious action. This should be understood. The very powerful thing should be understood. All these glories of the Lord are especially known to the great Mahajans, like Brahma, Shiva, Narada, Kapila, Kumara, as mentioned above, and one is able to grasp it by their grace. My next question is, Radhe, Shyam, Radhe Krishna. All right. So my next question is, Prabhupada said here, tribulations offered by the Lord to his devotee are different from the tribulation resulting from vicious action. How do we know the difference? How do we know the difference? What is the difference between tribulation offered by the Lord and tribulation offered by vicious actions? How would I know the difference? How would I know which one they come from my sin? How would I know which one they come from the Lord?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
The tribulation given by the Lord to the devotee increases the devotee's attachment and devotion to the Supreme Lord, while tribulations given as a result of sinful reactions drives or takes away the practitioner away from Krishna and the laments.
Very good. Very good. Very, very good. Thank you. Yes. The two has to be made clear so we can understand it. Any other one? Any other person want to contribute? The difference between, this is perfect, this is correct. The difference between tribulation, which is given by Krishna, tribulation, which is due to our own sinful activities. The two things are together. So how will I know which is which? That was my question. And I will get powerful response from Salika. Someone else want to contribute? What the difference between the two tribulations? So you raise your hand if you want to answer, you want to contribute. How will I know the difference? They're together here. More contributions? No? All right.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Chitra Ketu Putra. Once the sun is up first. Yes, go ahead. Then Madhuvan Prabhu. I hope the speaker is better this time. Yes, speak on. We are hearing you. Want to hear? What's the difference?
Please, what the difference between some of the difference is that tribulation is caused by the Lord. At the end, it brings joy. It brings joy.
Okay. Okay. I think his network is cut off. So Madhuvan Prabhu can continue while he's fixing his dedication.
Somebody is sinful or vicious, when he suffered the tribulation, you should know that it's the reactions of his sinful activity. For some, the pure devotee, he suffers tribulation, then from Krishna for his purification and then for his advancement.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for the contribution.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, your network is fluctuating. I don't know whether my get the answer correct.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your contribution. A person who is suffering the tribulation of Krishna will never think of giving up Krishna consciousness. Never. He will never think of giving up Krishna consciousness. The interest while a person is suffering the tribulation, a person on the tribulation of her own vicious activity will, like Taketu Prabhu said, will not be happy, will not be joyful, would like to give up Krishna because will be complaining, be lamenting seriously, being Krishna consciousness. We be contemplating and discussing living, giving up the practice. Therefore, the two should be understood. For example, a devotee, two persons may be suffering, and so have a sickness to go to the hospital. So one person is getting purified by the sickness. Another person is getting punished by the same sickness. Because of one sinful activities. So they are not the same, they are different. So the two should be carefully understood. All right. A very, very powerful point. In the beginning and also the end. Tribulations imposed upon. All right. Okay, text 20. O king, that personality whom out of ignorance only you thought to be your maternal cousin, your very dear friend, well-wisher, counselor, messenger, benefactor, etc., is that very personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna. Lord Sri Krishna, although acting as a cousin, brother, friend, well-wisher, counselor, messenger, benefactor, etc. for the Pandavas, was still the supreme personality of Godhead. Out of his costless mercy and favor upon his unalloyed devotees, he performs all kinds of service, but that does not mean that he has changed his position as an absolute person. To think of him as an ordinary man is a grossest type of ignorance. When Krishna is driving the chariot of Arjuna, Arjuna never for the 18 days that Krishna was not just driving the chariot. Krishna was washing, cleaning, and feeding the horses of Arjuna for the whole 18 days, every day. Because in the military, while the fighting is going on, there are a lot of politics. Someone can come and poison your horse or your horses. So the next day you have no fight. Therefore, they are very, very careful that the charioteers are well, Krishna was taking care of when Krishna was driving the chariot for Arjuna, he was also washing and cleaning and washing, feeding the horses of Arjuna. We were doing that every day. But Arjuna never. Okay. Now Krishna is inferior to me. Arjuna never thought of that. Never. He never thought of it. So Krishna is inferior to me now. He's now my chariot driver. So even though Arjuna was kicking Lord Krishna with his feet every day, but he never felt that now he is superior to Krishna. And Lord Krishna also never diminished in his position as the supreme personality of Godhead. It was during this time. It was during this time that when the Krishna acting as a servant of Arjuna, Krishna is serving his devotee Arjuna. It was during this time when Abhimanyu was killed. Arjuna had it after the end of the day fighting. And he was very disturbed and he took a vow. Tomorrow before sunset, I will kill the daughter. Oh, I will die. If I'm not successful to kill the daughter tomorrow, then I will also kill myself. So Krishna play all these games to let us have a clear understanding about his position and about his Bhakta Vatsala position. The sweet dealing Krishna has with his devotees. Krishna allowed Arjuna to take this vow without knowing the history behind the draft. So when Arjuna took the vow, Krishna told him, my friend, you don't know what is behind the draft. And you took the vow. Suppose if you don't kill him tomorrow, what will happen? So position of Krishna is still supreme, even when he's behaving as a child. So Krishna still maintain his supreme position. But I saw that told Krishna, you are too independent. Yes, that is his position. He's supremely independent. Yeah, too independent. Yeah, Krishna is independent. Fully independent. Even though he depends on the devotee, he still remains independent. So Lord Krishna is serving his devotees as a servant, he still maintains his supreme position as Krishna. So Krishna told Arjuna, you made a big mistake by taking the vow without knowing the history of Jayadratha. But anyway, it was during this time that Krishna helped Arjuna to succeed. The next day, Dhira and all the heavy weighty warriors from Dhira's side gave up all the fighting and concentrated on Jayadratha because they knew if Arjuna did not succeed in killing Jayadratha, he will die and the battle will be won. Therefore, they conversed together and supported Jayadratha the whole day to make it sure, to be sure that Jayadratha was not killed by you, so that Arjuna will die. They forgot that Lord Krishna is there behind Arjuna. This intelligence non-devotee doesn't have. So they were fighting and fighting and fighting, and they fought it the whole day. And Arjuna did not succeed in killing Jayadratha because the whole warriors, they came together to face Arjuna and fight. So Arjuna and Krishna were looking at Arjuna. You took the vow without consulting with me, so deal with the situation. Let me see. But I will help you as my friend. I will help you as my friend. I will take care. I will take care. But he allowed Arjuna to exercise all his strength, so we can learn. So the whole day, Arjuna couldn't. He was not successful in killing Jayadratha. So the sun set, and Arjuna started setting fire to jump inside and die. So Krishna asked him, my friend, what are you doing? So yesterday I took a vow to kill Jayadratha, and I'm not successful. Therefore, I have to follow what I promised. Immediately, Lord Krishna said, no, just now I have to come into show. Even though I am here as a servant, I still maintain my position as the Supreme. So Krishna came in and used his Sudarshan chakra to bring back the sun. And people were bewildered. Oh, the sun has not set. Oh, the sun was not set. The sun was set, but Krishna brought back the sun. This is Krishna's Bhakti Vatsala nature. Krishna brought back the sun. So before the Kauravas could take up back their weapon and begin to get ready, and Krishna told Arjuna, now you do it. And Jayadratha has a boon from his father that whoever make his head to fall down dead, that person's head also will be dead, will also go down. This Arjuna do not know. Only Krishna knows that. And also, Jayadratha's father was sitting in meditation, protecting his son in the battlefield. So they took boon on his head. And Jayadratha said, which is not known to Arjuna, but only Krishna knew. Therefore, Krishna came in as Bhakti Vatsala. He brought back the sun with the Sudarshan chakra and told Arjuna, you do it, but don't drop the head of Jayadratha. Krishna had to give him all the necessary intelligence and support. Cut off the head, but don't throw the head down. Use the mantra and say, Krishna showed him, sees Jayadratha's father sitting there in the forest meditating. Send the head to his father's lap. Arjuna did just that. Immediately, Arjuna sent the arrow, cut off the head of Jayadratha and took it to the forest and dropped it on Jayadratha's father's lap, who is sitting in meditation. As soon as he saw this, blood, I'm meditating, this is contamination, he removed his lap and the head of his son came down. His own head also went down. So in this way, Arjuna killed Jayadratha. This was possible by Krishna's mercy. Bhakti Vatsala potency, nature. And the same as the Supreme never changes at any time. Okay, 21. Sarvatmana samadrisho yatva yasyana pankrite tatkritam mati vaishamyam niravadyashana pachi. Being the absolute personality of Godhead, he is present in everyone's heart. He is equally kind to everyone, and he is free from the false ego of differentiation. Therefore, whatever he does is free from material inequity. He is equibalanced. Purport. Because Krishna is absolute, there is nothing different from him. Krishna is Kaivalya. There is nothing except himself. Everything and everyone is a manifestation of his energy, and thus he is present everywhere. But his energy, being non-different from him, from it. The sun is identified with every inch of the sun rays, an energy molecular particle of the rays. Similarly, the Lord is distributed by his different energies. He is Paramatma, or the super soul, present in everyone's heart as different energies. He is Paramatma, or the super soul, present in everyone as the supreme guidance. And therefore, he is already the chariot driver and counsel of all living beings. When he, Krishna, therefore exhibits himself as chariot driver of Arjuna, there is no change in his exalted position, as we already given an example. There is no change in his exalted position. His position still remains the same. Yes. It is the power of devotional service only that demonstrates him as a chariot driver or the messenger. Since he has nothing to do with the material conception of life, because he is absolute spiritual identity, there is for him no superior or inferior action. Yes. Even in the material world, sometimes we see a millionaire, who has a lot of vehicles, even has a private jet. We've seen, so they even have private jets. Sometimes they will be riding bicycle. So a big man riding bicycle is not poverty. For him, it is sport. It's enjoyment. It's enjoy his opulence. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of God, who is the supreme proprietor of everything, supreme independent person, his actions cannot be considered inferior or superior. So he's driving the chariot of Arjuna, or being tied up by Mother Yasoda does not diminish his quality, but it is a pleasure sport. Pleasure sport. So the Papa told of a man. I forgot the name, of England. One day he was seen playing a sport with his grandson. He was a horse and the grandson was on his back, riding. His knee and the hand was on the floor. And the baby was on his back. So for him, that is pleasure. It is not a diminution. It is not an insult. That is a pleasure. For him, it's a pleasure. It's enjoyment. He relishing that. Although the security guard are waiting at the door, they are waiting at the door, they are waiting at the car to carry out immediately any order given by him. But his grandson was riding on his back. For him, that is his pleasure. This is a pleasure. It's his pleasure sport. It is not an inferiority complex situation. No, it doesn't bring in inferiority complex or superiority complex. For the Lord, who is transcendental, is absolute, is transcendental to all these situations. Being the absolute personality of Godhead, he has no false ego, and so he does not identify himself with anything different from himself. Yes, nothing different. The material conception of ego is equivalence in him. He does not feel, therefore, inferior by becoming the chariot driver of his pure devotee. But he feels happy enjoying that relationship. It is the glory of the pure devotee that only he can bring about service from the affectionate love. Very interesting. This is very, very interesting. Tatapi ekanta bhakteshu pasha bhupanu kampitam yanme sums sajata sakshat Krishna darshanam agata. Krishna darshanam. Yet, despite his being equally kind to everyone, he has graciously come before me while I am ending my life, for I am his unflinching servitor. Yes, yesterday we were talking about darshan. It is here. He is Krishna darshanam agata. Bhismadev said, now it's not Sudarshan Chakra. It's not Sudarshan Chakra. Krishna darshanam. Tatapi here means, although it is not possible for me to be like you, still see his mercy to me by which that form of Brahman, which is filled with bliss, has come near such a low person like me. This is another of his anubhavas, for it is actually to show mercy to that it comes, the mercy to you that it comes to me. So Bhishmadev is seeing this as costless mercy. He's seeing this as costless mercy. You're not seeing it as a ho, 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 ho. You see, the Supreme Lord has lost his position. Now he has to come and beg me to take my shelter. Bhishmadev does not feel like that. A Supreme Lord, the absolute personality of God, is Sri Krishna, although equal to everyone, is still more inclined to his unflinching devotee, who is completely surrendered and knows no one else as his protector and master. Having unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord as one's protector, friend, and master is the natural condition of eternal life. A living entity is so made by the will of the Almighty that he is most happy when placing himself in a condition of absolute dependence. This is where our happiness comes. This is where our success comes. This is where our fortune comes. That we place ourselves as a dependent servant to the Lord. Then the Lord will take charge, will take care of everything about us. The root cause of all trouble is there in false egotism. One must draw towards the Lord in all circumstances, not staying away. We must come close to the Lord. We must take shelter of the Lord. We must realize our tiny position and see the supreme position of the Lord. We should not allow false ego to cheat us, to deceive us. We should not. We should accept our low position. And the Lord will raise us to the highest position of pure love of Godhead, a being with Him in Christian local. If we don't do this, Papa said, the opposite tendency is the cause of fall down, false ego, not depending on the Lord, but we are trying to become independent, which is not possible. The living entity has this tendency of falling down by dint of misidentifying himself as fully independent to lord it over the material nature. The root cause of all troubles is there in false egotism. One must draw towards the Lord in all circumstances. The appearance of Lord Krishna at the deathbed of Bhishmaji is due to his being an unflinching devotee of the Lord. Arjuna had some bodily relation with Krishna because the Lord happened to be his maternal cousin. But Bhishma had no such bodily relation. Therefore, the cause of attraction was due to the intimate relation of the soul. Yet, because the relation of the body is very pleasing and natural, the Lord is more pleased when he is addressed as the son of Maharaj Nanda, the son of Yashoda, the lover of Radharani. This affinity by bodily relation with the Lord is another feature of reciprocating loving service with the Lord. Bhishmadev is conscious of this sweetness of transcendental humor, and therefore he likes to address the Lord as Vijaya Sakhi, Parata Sakhi, etc. Exactly like Nanda Nandan or Yashoda Nandan. The best way to establish our relation in transcendental sweetness is to approach him through his recognized devotees. One should try to establish the relation directly. There must be a biomedium which is transparent and competent to lead us to the right path. Any question or comments? Is there any questions or comments? All right, 23. Comment? Question? I didn't see any hand. Okay, Madam.
My comment, we discovered that in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is fond of addressing Arjuna, those son of Peter. He's fond of doing that, and some other personal life. It's like they have pleasure, the parents to him like that.
Okay, thank you very much for your contribution. Yes, Krishna enjoys that. When he's addressed like that, Krishna enjoys it. He is not. Krishna like to be addressed in that way than other way. Why Krishna enjoyed that most is because of the a lovely dealing between him and the devotees. So he relishes that. Everybody is very, very happy. All right, Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Happy Sunday. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhakta jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
So I request all of the devotees to please kindly unmute and let us loudly chant Hare Krishna. Mantra fully to express appreciation to Maharaj for this wonderful presentation. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakarpataru vyascha kripa sindhuvyasya vascha patitanam pavasya Vaishnavya. Thank you very much, Maharaj. So thank you, devotees, for making it here. So we'll see you again next weekend.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu Kalika, for the coordination.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for being here. We look forward to seeing you next weekend. Hare Krishna.